Welcome back to the Leader Podcast. Still empty from last week.
Yeah. We batch record.
Yeah, we did. We do. We shouldn't, but we do.
We do.
Yeah.
Leader shout out.
Leader shout out.
Yeah.
Who's leader shout out? Oh, yeah. Let's give a shout out. Okay, so maybe a couple of leader lunches ago, we did some breakouts where people could pick what group they were going to.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah, it was a minute ago.
Yeah.
And Kaylin did a breakout on how to get your students involved in.
Kaylin Maltese or?
Well, it's still Kaylin Maltese for now.
And when this episode drops.
Yes, but soon to be Kaylin Maltese -Adams.
Oh.
So
I don't know about that. That's going to get her fired or something.
That's too long.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she did a breakout on how to get your students involved in leadership in your group.
Yeah.
And Lauren Wheeler and Kay Adams took up the challenge on that, man. And they started reaching out. They're like, hey, can we get assistant leader status for this kid because they're going to handle all our birthdays, and for this kid because they're going to handle, reaching out to missing students and stuff like that.
Work smarter, not harder.
So good.
That's what I say.
Yeah, so good. And also involve your students in leadership.
Oh, yeah, that part too.
That helps them own their faith better. Or also that.
Yeah.
But shout out Lauren and Kate. Like, really good job taking that workshop and turning it into tangible effort.
Yeah, it's honestly like, and it reminds me of how like Isaiah and Harrison, we talked about them a couple weeks back, are editing for me. Like I thought today for a second, I was like, when did I ever edit before?
I know, right?
Like once they start doing it, it's like you fill your time with like other things, and then all of a sudden, like today, I had to clean up an edit that Harrison didn't get a chance to finish last night on Wednesday night, and I was like, I used to do this. Like this was my full time.
Can we just track back? Can you do a little like dream sequence in here for this?
You know, I've never actually done one of those effects before.
Let's try it.
Thank you. I will learn how to edit that.
Do you remember when it was just me and you?
Yeah, no. I have trauma brain.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, holy cow.
Because we also had deaths in the family and funerals.
And moving and just all the things. Like, man, God
I don't remember that.
God is good. I don't know how we are just flattened pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because God is good. That's why. And also now we have a fantastic larger team that gets a lot done. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So let's give something away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't give anything away.
So
on the last podcast.
Well, no, that was intentional because
okay.
Lindsay got her. Her
Lindsay
new
got the
person
only
mug.
giveaway last week.
But this week we're gonna give away some Christmas presents. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna riff and say who's all in this because it's the costume people.
Yeah.
While I step off camera, but the camera cuts just to you and no one sees it, and I'm gonna go grab those Christmas presents over there.
Oh, perfect. I love it. All right, friends, we're gonna put all the names in our name picker of those of you who volunteered at the costume party, and we're gonna give away.
We got a T-shirt.
Oh.
And a pop socket.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And maybe there'll be something else added
God
to that.
bless us.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I'm gonna order a Christmas coffee cup or something to go with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Plus
okay.
these.
Plus
You're gonna
whatever.
forget that you said
no,
that.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go do it as soon as we get out.
All right.
All right.
So the winner, none other than my favorite person with this name, first and last, Tommy Curb. I was like, I'm getting myself in a dangerous predicament.
Yes, you were. I was like, we gotta stop that right now.
Tommy, enjoy this pop socket.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it on your lawyer phone.
And the coffee cup that I'm gonna remember to go buy when we're done here.
I hope it's so cute with like.
I'll do that. I can customize them.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
There you go.
All right, friends. We're going to talk today about the 10-minute rule. What does it look like 10 minutes before you start a student ministry thing and 10 minutes after it's over? So the 10-minute rule would just say you should arrive 10 minutes before stuff's happening so that you are available to your students, right? So what does that mean for us practically, especially on Sunday morning? It means that you leave while Craig is praying because he's definitely going to go long. It means that...
Especially in the 8:30. He hasn't honed it down yet.
No.
So if you're serving at 9:45...
I mean, the 8:30 is really his practice round.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like his dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
So
maybe consider if you serve at 9:45, getting here at 9:35, serving, and then start going to the 11 because you're going to get Craig on fire.
Yeah, right? It's going to be the optimized sermon for sure. But yeah, we'd love for you to be here at 9:35. And the reason for that is that kids start trickling in at 9:35. And so we want you to be here, checked in, ready to go 10 minutes before, because those 10 minutes between the time you check in and the time we start are an optimal 10 minutes for you to be making connections with kids, with your kids and with other kids, right? And so, I mean, I will often have some of our leaders of younger students be like, oh, well, I'm not going to go to that thing. I don't know any of those older kids. But if you're here early enough, you actually can get to know some of those older kids. Go play basketball, hand out donuts in the cafe. We have some people doing that, but we would let you guys do it too.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're prepped, i.e., I'm not just for the first time pulling out my leader guide and reading through it in a frantic panic, hoping that I can riff on the Bible.
Yeah.
Come ready and prepped to do that. And when the countdown hits 0, be sitting with a student, be checked in, ready to go, coffee in hand, whatever it is you're bringing with you to start, and be sitting at a table with a student before we dismiss, so that you're having the opportunity to engage with them on things like we make an announcement. Hey, are you going to that?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go to that. Are you going to go? If you go, I'll go.
Yeah.
Right? You can actually draw some kids in who maybe aren't participating in as much when you're here early.
Yeah. It's really like it's a 10-minute pastoral care moment.
Yeah,
and it's baked
for sure.
into like the time you're already here.
Yeah.
So just think about your serving time as being 10 minutes,
10 minutes before.
10 minutes before.
And 10 minutes after.
And 10 minutes after. Like, so in both of these, like, you're going to want, especially before, you're going to want to just not arrive 10 minutes before, be ready to go 10 minutes before.
Agreed.
And that's a principle I've tried to live by, even in like what we do on Wednesday nights and stuff. Like, I try to have all my slides, all that stuff loaded at 4.
Yeah.
So that when kids show up at 6, I try to do like a half hour. Like, I'm done working.
Yeah.
Right. And so the same thing after, like, don't immediately go chat it up with your friend who's another leader in another bay.
Or your co-leader.
You talk to them, yes. Like, we want you to have friendships. We want you to...
Sorry, I can't talk to you right now. I'm looking for students.
But, like, try to just be available, hang around, because something may have come up in a group discussion of some sort, and a kid may not have inserted themselves or started talking, like, right then in that moment. They're maybe looking for a more organic or less threatening opportunity to come up to you and talk to you. So just don't immediately become busy, but instead take a beat, take a breath, take a pause, and hang around, make sure all the students have sort of like dissipated, and then go have friends. Yeah. But in that moment, hang out there, and just maybe hanging on just a half second longer will give you an opportunity to engage in a spiritual conversation that you otherwise might not have been able to.
Yeah. And for those of you who are attending the 11 o'clock service, it's a great opportunity to just walk across the creek with other kids who are heading that direction, right? It doesn't have to be parked in the lobby of the student center. You can do that 10 minutes after.
You don't have to have like a booth
on the road
that says 5-minute counseling available.
Right.
Like
Charlie Brown.
As you go.
Yeah.
As you go.
Love it.
Story time?
Great. Story time.
Let's do it.
Story time. So I think you should tell this story time because you're a key component, bro.
All right, great. So a couple weeks ago, I led our 4 seniors only Bible study, which is hosted on Sunday nights and is hosted in the Wheeler's house, most often the Wheeler's house. Sometimes it's in different locations, but mostly them. And they were out of town. And so we're like the Smiths, who are also co-leaders there with them on normal Sunday nights. And so they just gave me like their key code to get in. And they're like, just host it here at our house.
I don't know that's going to happen again.
Which was great. Like, I've done that before, actually.
I know.
Like, with them. And
you were building influence. You were setting
hosted
the scene for what's about to happen.
I hosted at their house without them there the first Sunday I lived in Texas.
That's right.
So
back when it was just me and you.
I've done this before. It wasn't that, whatever. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I got this. And I figured out how to get my TV on the screen, all that stuff. And so anyway, at the end of the night, I was like, we took like a selfie a few of us students and a few of us leaders who were there, like the grosses came to make sure that I wasn't the only adult in the room. And
well, they obviously weren't providing security.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they participated
I
in
bet
this
they
prank.
did. It makes perfect sense.
And so we took a selfie, and I was like, it'd be funny is if we could take this picture and just replace it with one of the family photos in the Wheelers' house. Like they have family photos, as we do, on the wall and just on like the counter, standing up and stuff like that. And so that little idea sparked something. And so we tried to like air print to their printer, but we couldn't. We weren't like on their Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, not only are we going to do this, but we're going to use your ink to make it happen.
We couldn't figure out how to do it. Well, one of the girls who attends FSO lives minutes away.
Yeah.
And she's
just
like,
down the street.
Yeah, she's like, we can do it at my house. And I was like, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So off they
plan
go.
was hatched.
Off they go. They leave for like 20 minutes. And they come back not just with the selfie, but with like several more photos. And these photos now are like of random families. Like they Googled Jamaican family on vacation. And they printed them out. And so they came back and we found photo frames that matched the size of the photos that were printed. And we probably swapped anywhere from 3 to 5 different photos in the Wheelers' house with
throughout the whole house.
Yeah. With photos of us and photos of random families on vacation.
So
and
fun.
so like there's this like lady who's a little heavier set, let's say. We don't know her. I believe she lives in Jamaica. Who's like lounging with her family like sideways, and it was like overlooking the sink where Kristen or Steven would be doing the dishes.
Oh my gosh.
It was
glorious.
Very funny.
It's so fun.
So then one of our students was here on Wednesday night, and she's like, I'm so nervous because it was the Wednesday after the deed had been done, and was like, Kristen hasn't talked to me yet. And she was like nervous, like, what do I say? What should I do? And I was like,
natural.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine. And then I talked to Kristen, and Kristen immediately brought it up to me. She's like, I have some new family members in my house or whatever. And I was like, that girl over there, she's really nervous.
Yeah,
like,
so
you should
play
act
it up.
mad.
Did she?
I don't know.
Oh, Kristen.
Comment below if you acted mad.
We hope you did.
Let us know.
All right, crash land it.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys.